Not everybody that's clapping for you is clapping for you to win. October it's been Octobering the fuck out of me. I got nothing else to give. That part of my life is coming to an end. Bitch called me old, and she was like 36. I had a lot of stuff that I need to talk to you guys about. I have not worked with the most professional people. So yesterday I made this video, right? And I had my mic because actually when I looked at the video, I didn't like the volume. I felt like it was just too low. So like when I have like a heart-to-heart conversation with you guys, I feel like it's better if I talk in the mic because I don't have to be so over the top. You know what I mean? But yesterday I was not feeling good at all. I was so upset. Like I was crying and I was all in my feelings, and I made this video, and I'm just kind of glad that I decided not to post because no. It was too much. It was too much. There's so many people on the internet now. Like there's so many creators, and just people are just like really doing whatever it takes to get to that level, you know what I mean, to connect with people. So after you've been doing this for a minute, there comes a time when it's like you just want to be careful like what you share and when you share it, you know. You're going to have more haters on a channel than you will actually have people that are like pulling for you, unfortunately. So with that being said, you have to be careful like what you share, because not everybody that's clapping for you is clapping for you to win. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people are clapping for you and they're giving you the wrong advice, and you're listening to them and you're taking their advice, and they're clapping with you all the way to the edge of the road or the edge of the ledge. You know what I mean? They're just, they waiting for you to fall off. That's it. They are waiting for you to fall off. So it's like, you got to know your audience. So at this point I'm like, I'm just, some things I'm not ready to share. October has been, as you all say, Octobering. It's been Octobering the fuck out of me. I got nothing else to give. I got nothing left. It's been a hard month, but actually the whole year has been hard. But I have a few more months left until I can really talk about it and be comfortable talking about it. Just right now, it's not the right time, because if I talk about it now, I still work at that place. I still have to go back and forth there, and I can't do it yet. But baby, oh my gosh, the stuff I need to say when it's time. Oof. I'm like, damn, I might have to do like a whole podcast or something like that, because I got a lot of stuff I need to unpack. But it's going to be things that are going to help you like in your career. It's going to be stuff that's going to help you like, oh my gosh, my experience with dealing with coworkers in the mental health field. You would be surprised the stuff that I'm going to tell you. You're going to be surprised. But like I said, I still work there, so I got to wait, you know? And for those of you that don't know, like what I do, I'm in the mental health field. I work in a prison, and that part of my life is coming to an end. Oh my gosh. But it's coming to an end with how do I say it? It's coming to an end. But it's not ending the way I thought it would end, you know? You know what's so great is like, I'm the only one here right now. Hubs is at work. Janelle is at work. I'm like, yes. I love it. I am the oldest of 3 kids. I am the only girl, right? So I love my own space. I am not one that has to be around someone all the time. I know how to be by myself and entertain myself. This is why I have a damn YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? Because I can do this shit and feel okay with doing this and not need a whole actual audience sitting in front of me. One of the things that I've been having a problem with though is like, I cannot stop ordering food off of DoorDash or Instacart. Like, I just can't do it. I've gotten lazy as hell. When you're working a full-time job, I don't know about you, Or maybe it's just me because I am a content creator. Like, I don't have the extra time like I feel like I used to. I feel like I used to have a lot more time. And now I don't know. I feel like I don't have enough time. And because my kids are older, you would think that would have more time, but I don't have more time. It's just me, right? It's me and my husband, really. And so I don't have to pay attention to small kids. I have no grandchildren right now. So I'm like, I think as we get older, we get more tired. We're just tired because we've done a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? We've done that stuff, the running around, the being on the job, being there for like 16 hours, 24 hours and all that kind of stuff. And then now we're just tired, And we want to come home, we want to relax a little bit. So I feel like there are just certain things I don't want to do anymore. Certain things I'm just not interested in. Going to a grocery store is one of them. It's on the top of my list. I don't feel like going to the grocery store. Number 2 on my list, I will tell you, number 2 on my list is I don't feel like cooking. No. Miss me with cooking. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I will gladly order out. I feel like I'm at the age now where I have the money to do that. And so, fuck it. That's what I'll do. I'm just going to order out. And like, and I'll cook when I feel like it. That's how I feel, That's where I am in my life right now. It feels good to be 47. It does. And I never thought that I would say that. Like, it feels really good to be 47. Like, when I was in my 20s, I remember crying. This is so crazy. This is so crazy. So if anybody's listening to this video, right, you're watching this video and you're in your 20s, I'm going to tell you, there was a time when I was about to turn 30. And I was having a really hard time. Because I remember my brother-in-law was getting married, right? And so all of a sudden, I went from being the only daughter-in-law to, oh, here's another daughter-in-law. I wasn't the center of attention. Not that I needed to be the center of attention. I don't feel, that's not what I'm saying. That's not the point that I'm trying to make. The point that I'm trying to make was like, I was no longer the young girl. I was no longer that girl that was like in her 20s. You know what I'm saying? I was getting ready to be in my 30s. I think I was in my 30s. Yeah, no, I was in my 30s. That's the whole thing. I was in my 30s. And it was like, here go these young 20-somethings, getting married. And that is when I had it was an epiphany. And it was like, oh shit, I'm getting old. At 30, I felt like I was getting old. And that's crazy. I'm trying to see if my food is here. It's not here yet. I'm 47. I can't even believe that I will be 50 in another few years. Like, what? No, y'all don't understand. I was that girl. You know what I mean? Young, vibrant, active as hell. I was that chick. Yeah. So for me to be aging to like almost be 50, it's like, I know this ain't happening, But hey, it is what it is. I feel great to be 47 now. I had to go check and see like where my food was at because I'm starving, and tonight is a celebration. It's a celebration, so I'm celebrating. It's Friday night. My husband's gonna watch this and be like, "Really? Are you that excited about food?" Yes. Especially if I don't have to cook it. When you're in your 20s, I feel like you just don't realize that you're gonna get old, and you don't see the fact that you're aging until other people come behind you and they start doing the same things. For example, once you graduate high school, you end up going to college or you go to the military, you may start a family, that kind of thing. Well, there's going to be somebody that's going to come behind you, like a family member that's going to go to college. And then they're going to have a family. And then you're going to start seeing things like, oh my gosh, they're growing up. But fuck, if they're growing up, I'm growing up. If they're getting older, I'm getting older. And if I'm older than them, then I'm really getting older. My 30s it was a really hard time. My early 30s were really hard because I I was no longer the 20-year-old something. The next time that I had a really hard time with aging was when I was in my early 40s. Oh my gosh. Babes, listen. When you get to your 40s, if you're not already there, and if you are already there, then you already know what I'm talking about. Something happens when a woman gets into her early 40s. And all of a sudden, she meets like the 30-something-year-old boss. She's probably 36. You know what I'm saying? The boss is 36. And so you're like in your early 40s. It's a lot of cattiness that goes on. I had a woman to tell me when I was like 42, she called me old. Bitch called me old. And she was like 36. How do you do that? Number one. Food is here. How do you do that? How do you call somebody old just because, they're 40? I might sit in here and eat. They're 40 and you're like 36. Really? And you're the boss. See, that's what I'm talking about. I got a lot of stuff that I need to talk to you guys about when it comes to like dealing with mental health professionals. From my perspective, I have not worked with the most professional people. So I can't wait to tell you guys all about that. But right now, let me eat my food because I'm starving. Oh my gosh, I'm so hungry right now. So good. My Johanna Parker Halloween little bowl. I have butter in here. It's for my crab legs. It's so good. All right, so, oh my gosh, I was hungry as hell, y'all. Y'all don't understand. Like, when you start getting older, certain things start happening. You don't even understand them yourselves. Like, my cravings at 47 are ridiculous. Like, it feels like I'm pregnant. I feel like I'm pregnant some days, like all over again. I have a sweet tooth, there are certain things that I want. There are a lot of things that I don't want anymore. And when I get hungry, I want everything. Like, I want it right now. I feel like I don't have time to cook, but it just reminds me of like when I was pregnant, because I was the same way. And right now I'm sleepy as hell. So after I get finished with this video, I'm about to go take me a nap. So I watched Love is Blind season 7. I told you guys a long time ago, like when I used to watch Love is Blind, I would stay up all night to watch it because it would just hook me just like that. And it's TV. So we got to remember, this is TV. So it's designed to do that. It's designed to keep your attention and to keep you hooked. I have a psychologist friend who actually was going to take a job it was a TV show that was casting couples for a dating show or whatever like that. And she wouldn't tell me which show it was. She wouldn't let me know. But what she did tell me was that they wanted her to look for people who had red flags. They wanted her to get all the people that had personality disorders. They didn't want anybody that was normal. They wanted the drama. You know what I'm saying? So like this stuff that you see on TV, it's designed for drama. Because even I get had sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll get wrapped up in the story, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, they're at the altar, and the music is playing, and they're looking in each other's eyes, and just like, oh my God, I love you. I only known you for 42 days, but I love you. And it made me wonder, is love really blind? Because I think for me, I don't think so. Nah. Let me tell you something. I got some standards. So you call it whatever you want to call it. But, once I see the actual person and match the person with the voice, and if it's something that I don't like, I'm not interested.
I'm no longer interested. I got to call it like what it is. It is what it is. When I saw my husband, I liked what he looked like. I liked his look. So there's no way that I could have just overlooked looks. Looks are important to me. And I'm sure he feels the same way as well, you know. Now, as I get a little bit older, I'm willing to overlook some things, you know. I'm willing to look past like certain things. But not by that much. There's one couple that really has like caught my attention. That was the what's his name? Ramses? That looks like Ozone from Breaking? Ain't no way. Yeah, you gotta look at him and say you can't even take him serious. You can't even take him serious. I'm sorry. Like I was looking at him, he had the little rat tail that was coming down the side of his head. Like, no. 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 There's no way. Let me see if I can find a picture of him. Because I don't feel like doing all that editing. So let me just see if I can just find a picture of him so you can see what he looks like. He's got that little rat tail right there. Can you see him? And she's all crying and stuff, you know? I have to be honest. I really didn't watch it because like I would fall asleep. You know what I'm saying? But Marissa, that's her name. She begs him to stay with her. She begs him. Baby, let me tell you something. If a man don't want to be with you, this ain't one of those channels, but let me just share with you what I think. If a man does not want to be with you, the best thing you can do is walk away. Walk away and keep your dignity. Keep your dignity. That's the best thing you can do. I would never, ever, 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 ever beg a man to be with me. Never gonna beg a man to be with me. Nah. Nah, that ain't something I'm interested in doing. I ain't never been that girl. I'm telling you. I don't know what's going on with these women now. Like, is it that bad out here in these streets? Like, y'all gotta beg somebody to be with y'all? There's no way. There's so many men out there. You know, it's so many men. I mean, like, people are like, oh my gosh, there's no men here. They're in Atlanta. Because you gotta move. You gotta move. You might not find your guy here. Like, when I was, like, growing up, I had to leave the whole state of Georgia. And my husband just so happened was in North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we found each other in Kansas. Do you see how that worked? Sometimes you're not going to find your guy in the same place that you grew up in. It's just not going to always happen. Or sometimes you're not going to find your guy in the place that you're living right now. Maybe you need to take another job somewhere else, you know? I don't know. But anyways, people are like meeting people online. Maybe the competition it's just a lot of competition out there, you know? And maybe that's what it is, because I think men are very visual. So they have more to look at than they did back in the day. And that could be something that is throwing everything off, you know? Because if you don't look a certain way, then, you know, you may feel like you can't compete. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. Now that everybody's looking the same, because a lot of women are getting the same looks, you know? Now that you guys are all looking alike, the woman that looks different from everybody else is probably going to be the one he's going to pick. I promise you. I just don't think dudes are still into like that whole, you know, that look now. Men like women that are fun. I'm telling you, if you show a man a good time, he is going to be looking for you. I promise you that. Like, somebody was telling me a long time ago, somebody told me, they was like, you don't know what it's like to be out here in these streets because you are married and you've been married for a long time. And I'm like, duh, bitch. Duh. You trying to be like me? Are you trying to be married like me for a long time? Then you need to take some damn advice, you know? You need to take some advice because obviously I know what I'm talking about. I got an email from a couple of different companies that wanted me to do a product review. Right? I have not done product reviews in a minute. I kind of pulled back because the last time I did a product review, I got pissed off. I did. I did the review, and then the dude was like, he wanted to see the video before I had sent it out. And I was like, man, I ain't got time for that because I work for myself. You know what I mean? So I felt like if I'm going to do a product review, I got to work with other people. And at the time, I wasn't in that space to do that. But I might start doing product reviews again. I might start doing that. However, I only want to review things that I think are really, really good, because I don't want to waste my time or your time. Like, if there's something that I really don't want, I don't want to just do the review just because I'm doing the review to get something for free. You know what I mean? I want to actually do the review. I want to because I want to need the product. I want to need the product, and I want to be like, this is a really, really good product that I think that you would be interested in. But if it's something that I'm not interested in, then I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to waste your time. So I have not done product reviews in such a long time, but I might get back into it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to have a little bit more free time. So I figure, like, why not? Like, why not go all in on this YouTube journey? It's going to be different. It's really going to be different. It's going to be different. It's going to be something totally different. Like, it's going to be different. Because when I first started this journey, like, has it been 5 years? When I first started this journey, like, 5 years ago, we're going to say 5 years ago. Because if I say anything more than that, I think 5 years. So when I first started this journey, like, 5 years ago, I could never be all in. Never. I could never do it full time because I had a full-time job. So I always had to do this YouTube thing, like, whenever I could. And it was a lot to deal with because it's like you have to kind of switch your frame. You have to switch your way of thinking when you're doing YouTube, And especially like when someone like myself that worked in a prison, it's like when you work in a prison, you're very guarded. When you are doing YouTube, when you're a content creator, then it's like you can't be as guarded, even though you have to be a little guarded, of course, but you just can't be as guarded. So when I first started this like 5 years ago, I wouldn't talk a whole lot because it was like I've gotten so used to like not talking a lot to people because you don't talk to inmates like that. You know what I mean? So I could never really go all in when it came to YouTube. I'm getting ready to go all in. And it's scary because I don't know what my potential is going to be. I don't know if like this is going to be the reality of something really, really good, the beginning of something really, really good, or if this is going to be the finale of something that I've been doing for 5 years and it just, maybe I'm at a plateau. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting ready to see, what this is really going to be all about. It's like, I'm nervous. I'm excited, but I'm nervous. So truly when one door closes, one door definitely opens. But it's like you have to put the work in order to make that happen. I know someone right now who is struggling with like her future and trying to figure out like what she want to do with her career for the rest of her life, But I told her, I was like, you can't just pray about it. You got to actually be physically doing things to get to your goal. Just thinking about it is not going to get this closer to you, this thing that you want. It's not going to necessarily just come to you. You got to think about it. You do, but you got to actually start doing the steps to get to it too. I'm happy right now. So I wanted to share that with you guys today. I want to say by next year, definitely the beginning of next year, it's like I'm going to be doing YouTube full time. And that is crazy because, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. For the first time in my life, I'm going to be doing something that I want to do on my time. And that is so crazy and it feels so good. And it took me this long to get here. I'm almost 50, but it's like, it's good. It's good because you need something to do at 50. You know what I'm saying? You need to still have goals and dreams, and you still need to be able to do things at 50. There was one time when I was like, why didn't this happen in my 20s? You know, like, why did it take so long for this to happen? When I was in my teens, I used to say all the time, I want to be like Oprah. I always said that. Oh my gosh, that's my dream job. I would love to be a talk show host. That's what I said I want to do. I want to be a talk show host. I want to be a motivational speaker. I used to love Les Brown. All of his books I would read. But I really wanted to be like Oprah. And then real life happened. And I went to the military, you know. But that's how I started. That's how I started out. Yeah, and I used to love home economics, right? Also, like when I was young, I loved film. I did. I remember we had made this short little movie, and I just remember loving that. And I was so fascinated with the whole film thing, you know? But that was as far as that went. When I was in ninth grade, you know, we had an economics class. And then I think soon after that, there was no more economics, right? But there was this economics class. And in that class, we talked about the stock market, and we also talked about being an entrepreneur. That's the first time I've ever heard of that, ever. And I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I did. I said, man, when I grow up, I want to be an entrepreneur. I do. And so, but in the 90s, you know, for somebody like myself, I did not know how to get to that place, you know, because I didn't have the right connections. I didn't have enough money, you know, education. It's just things weren't in my favor. So I went to the military. After going into the military, after being, you know, working with inmates in a prison, after, you know, working around juveniles in law enforcement, it's crazy how I wound back here where my passion is, like, you know, doing this, which at the time didn't even exist. However, I will say this, Real World, what year was that? It came out in 1992. It came out in 1992. So listen, I think it was like right before 92. I had this neighbor who had a relative that came down from New York. She had a camcorder, right? And she started like recording, you know, just us outside. And I said, oh my God, I said, wouldn't it be so neat if we could just talk about like what we're doing and just talk about like life and just talk about like us hanging out on the basketball court and just show this to people. I said that shit. You know what I mean? And I'm sure there were other people that have probably came up with the idea. Like, ideas are not, they're not original. Thoughts are something that everybody has. Like, everybody has the same, everybody has the same type of thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like, you take 10 people in a group, and about 3 of them are going to be thinking pretty much the same thing or have thought the same thing once upon a time or in flip-flop. You know what I mean? Like, your thought is not original. It's just whoever gets to doing that first. Whoever can, you know, make that thought a reality, they're the ones that can claim the originality of it. But that's it. That's it, you know? So I wish I would have had the connections and all that shit, you know, way back then. Who knows? I probably would be rich. Probably would be rich by now, you know? But I'm just saying, it's like, you know, it's crazy how, yeah, I'm here now. And I'm going to get to do this full time. So, all right. I'm going to go to Home Goods because, yeah, that's where I want to be right now. Bye.